Zach Ertz will finish outside the top 8 tight ends this
You're
year.
high right now.
What's up, Fackers? We are back with our Fantasy and Chill 101, counting down the top 101 fantasy football players for the 2020 season. Number 37 on the countdown is tight end for the Philadelphia Eagles, Zach Ertz. He is our fourth ranked tight end. Last year, he finished as tight end number 5. A few of his stats last year, he had 88 catches for 916 yards and 6 touchdowns on 135 targets. He scored 172.6 fantasy points, an average of 11.5 points per game. All right, so Zach Ertz, he's established himself 3 straight years as a top 4 tight end. He has joined the group at the top, which has been Travis Kelce for a while. It's Kittle up there, and we know it had been Gronk. But Zach Ertz is firmly in place in the top echelon of tight ends. Last year, he started off a little slow, but he was a second half monster. Actually, kind of about, if you remember, if you followed us last year, I traded for him about week 10, and he kind of took off from there. I don't have all his numbers in front of me, but he had some monster games second half of the season, including a 30-point game, which almost put me into the playoffs. It's neither here nor there.
Are we just recapping your season, or are we talking about Zach
I'm
Ertz?
reflecting on my great trade that I made last year.
I'm reflecting on you getting third place. Now shut
I
up. Let's
traded
go.
Drew Brees for Zach Ertz. Hell of a trade. But the reason he had so many targets and he was a second half monster, they were down to nobody. Their best receiver, which I'm not going to hate on him, our boy, Greg Ward Jr.
Yeah. Oh, now you're coming around. Okay.
Just because I had a beer with him, a few months ago. I don't know if you
All
heard.
right. No one gives a shit.
He was their best receiver. But assuming all these guys are healthy, he has another tight end that is actually pretty damn good in Dallas Goedert, who's going to be pushing for tight end targets. Alshon Jeffrey, maybe my boy will be back healthy. Deshaun Jackson, if he can stay healthy. They drafted Jalen Reagor of TCU. They signed Marquise Goodwin. They still have Nelson Aguilar. Like, these are guys that have been factors before. And not saying that they're going to be better than Ertz, but it's just a lot more targets to go around. Not to mention, he's got a running back who caught 50 balls last year in Miles Sanders. All right, so all of these guys are going to be back in the mix. So I really don't see him getting 135 targets again like he did last year.
No, but tight end is such a if you just get a few touchdowns, you can be a top 10 tight end very easily. And I mean, the over the last 5 years, he's had over 100 targets every season. He's had 8 touchdowns, 8 and 6 in the last 3. I understand Goddard's there, but that really doesn't I feel like the chemistry between Wentz and Ertz is just on another level. I had Wentz last year in fantasy since we talked about our fantasy season last year, and he always looked for Ertz. I felt like, especially in the second half of the season, like Keller's talking about. You really can't go wrong with Ertz. My whole take on tight ends, though, is don't take them early. Let the value come to you. And I mean, Ertz's ADP right now is 36. That's a little high for me, but
Yeah, I'm the same. I never take a tight end early. Our resident tight end early drafter is Matt here, so
go ahead, Matt. Tell us what you think.
maybe Matt can talk about if he would spend maybe a 4th round pick on Zach Ertz.
No, let me recap the tight ends that I've took in I think the past 4 years, and if it's only been 2 tight ends.
Not to play fantasy.
Okay, Britt. I'm outscoring you every year almost. I've taken 2 tight ends in the past 4 years. In all 4 years, they've been the same tight end, or same 2. Been Travis Kelce, George Kittle. So if that shows you anything, it's that I'm taking the top 2 tight ends, and then if I don't get either.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a quick question. How many championships did you win in those 4 years?
I've taken George Kittle in other leagues and won championships.
And see, I took Gronkowski in the second round 1 year, and it fucked me.
Yeah, but he got hurt probably.
Wait, did I take Gronk? I think I traded. I don't remember.
My point is that if I'm not getting one of these top tight ends, like I don't consider Zach Ertz a top tight end right now. This year,
you're just talking about strictly Kelce and Kittle. Maybe our next guy.
Possibly. We'll talk about our next guy. I mean, we're kind of giving it away now, but possibly him. But I don't see myself taking him either. it's just, especially Zach Ertz. Like, I could give you a hot take right now, and if y'all want a hot take, I'll give it to you.
Bring
Go.
it.
Zach Ertz will finish outside the top 8 tight ends this
You're
year.
high right now.
It's a hot take, but
Bet me.
Well,
No,
let's
bet
talk
me.
about.
well,
Let's
it's
talk
a hot
about
take. I'm gonna need some odds on
Bet
it.
me.
Kelsey,
No.
Kelsey, Kittle, Andrews. Are
Yeah.
you saying Waller?
Waller, I could see him.
Gronk could be there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not high in
No,
Gronk.
dude.
Evan Ingram. Like we're running out of names here.
Hunter
Forget it.
Henry,
You're swimming
Okay.
up shit river, man.
and you're gonna have
No
one tight
paddle.
end that. Britt, it's a hot take. Like, I obviously he's probably gonna finish around 5, but I could easily see a path where he finishes outside the top 8. I think Goddard might be a better tight end than him. Now, will he finish higher than him? Probably not. He doesn't get as many snaps as he does. But Zach Ertz is 30 years old right now. He was like, might be one of the least efficient tight ends in the league.
Okay,
The
that
reason
was
The reason he scores so
Series.
high is because he has so many targets.
I typed in Google what's hotter than hot, and searing tropical. Is that a tropical take?
Is it really that hot?
I mean, outside the top 10, he's been a staple up there.
Yeah, I didn't say outside the top 10, Britt. If you listen to me,
Oh, what'd you say?
I said outside the top 8.
Oh, I think they said 10, my bad.
Yeah, outside the top 8.
All right, eight's hot. I'll give you that.
Yeah,
Ertz became a boy last year. I really like saying that he's
hold
an
on.
inefficient tight end is just blasphemous.
no, he
He's a
isn't.
very
I'll
good
give you
tight end.
stats right now if you want them.
All right, let's hear him. Let's hear him.
All right, let's see. Yards per reception, he was the 24th tight end. Yards per
Have you
target,
seen the routes he runs? He's a fucking 8-yard, 10-yard route guy.
not done. Yards per target, 25th tight end.
Got 135 targets.
Catch percentage, 65.7. That was the bottom 15 tight ends.
I don't believe that.
I did my research.
You did do your research, Marty. Good job.
He's just getting Snopes it if you want to. You're just getting a lot of targets. So yeah, of course his
That's what I was gonna get to. Is I like Zach Ertz a lot, but the reason why he's gonna be lower than last year is because there's just no way he can get that many targets again. He got that many targets solely based on that he was the last guy standing. All these guys, I just ran through a list of 7 guys that are going to be there to take targets, assuming that all or most of them stay healthy this year. He's not going to get that many targets, which is why he was so good in the second half of the year when he was getting 15 targets a game.
Yeah.
Did you not hear me, though? He's had 5 seasons of over 100 targets.
Okay, 100 is a lot different than 135.
He had 156 the year before.
They didn't have any receivers in either.
Like, I guess what my whole take on tight ends is I just want guys who are going to get targets because tight ends are pretty much a crapshoot unless, like, you're talking like with Matt with Kittle and Kelsey the last 2 years, 3 years. I just feel like Ertz he has that chemistry with Wentz. He's been there. He's his go-to guy. Like, he's still going to have over 100 targets.
And he'll probably
Do we
catch
want to drink to that one? Here, over 100 targets, Zach Ertz. Bet me.
He'll have over 100 targets.
Okay,
How
then
many-
he will be a... Huh?
Yeah. I could see over 100, yeah, but I don't know.
All I'm saying, Britt, is that he's got way more competition than he did the second half of last year when he was a beast.
What about the year before?
They didn't have all these guys.
I mean, I get we hype up all these guys all the time. Goddard was there.
So we're
Goddard
not
was
taking
there, Alshon was there, and Aguilar was there. Deshaun Jackson wasn't there.
Aguilar-
Jalen Reagor wasn't there. Goddard was there, but he was not a big factor in the offense. Miles Sanders wasn't there, who's catching 50 balls out of the backfield.
Yeah, so
Yeah, they had some other
beginning of last year, Goddard was getting about 50 to 70% of snap share, and then the end of the year he was getting around 80%, just 10% lower than Zach Ertz was.
Yeah, but they run 2 tight end sets a lot too. Goddard and
Well, they had to because
Dude, but that was out of necessity last year.
yeah.
yeah, but I mean, even in their when did they win the Super Bowl? 18 or was it 17? 17? Yeah, I mean, Ertz was still. I don't know. Yeah, I guess I'll just shut up. I'm not even going to take him at his current ADP.
Boy,
but
it sounds like
if
you
he
are.
falls to me- No. I just don't look at tight ends like this. If
You
he
can
falls
present
to
an
me,
argument for
I'll
a
take a
player,
chance.
but I agree. I'm just probably never going to take a tight end early.
Like to me, Zach Ertz and Evan Ingram, pretty comparable. I'll wait on Ingram unless Ertz falls to me. But yeah. All right, Zach
All right,
Ertz.
so obviously some differing opinions here on Zach Ertz for us, but Zach Ertz, our 4th ranked tight end, number 37 overall. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Player.